everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Kate. I'm so glad you've come back, and if you are new to my channel, please do not forget to not only like, share the video, but also subscribe as well. And actually, even if you're a returning viewer, press that bloody subscribe button. I am so appreciative of all my current subscribers, but I would love to get the numbers up. So please don't forget to hit that button. Also, make sure you allow notifications, because then you'll be notified of the weekly free videos that I keep uploading, and it's all amazing training content for you. So allow notifications. Okay, so let's get started on today's video. So what I'm covering off today is something that I love doing, but I don't see enough consultants do. And this is not just people new to recruitment, this is people that are 3-4 years in sometimes as well. And I understand why people let, I suppose, the standards slip around it, because they're excited, they're driven, they just want to get going. But ultimately, if this bit of the process is done right, then it has a positive domino effect on everything else that you do, and it will result in you winning not just more clients, but higher quality clients as well, better clients. And this is all about being more strategic as a recruiter over transactional, reactive and tactical. Planning and prep with things like your business development is strategic, and as I said, it's going to produce higher quality results. So today is all about how to effectively plan and prep for your business development activities. Now, I could deliver a whole training session on this, so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to try and whittle it down to some key points that you can build around, because otherwise this video would be too long and probably a bit boring for you as well. So one of the first things I'm going to highlight is you have got your CRM and it needs to be used. So many people don't use their CRM, and I understand that admin isn't everyone's cup of tea, and there are ways you can start automating this. So for example, when you're on the phone, there's applications you can have that can transcribe the call, and you can just copy and paste the notes, or it's integrated into your CRM. I don't know what tech you've got access to in your agency or as a business owner, but one thing I will say is that the CRM is there because it benefits you. Now, when it comes to planning and preparation for business development, the information that you find must go into your CRM. Must. Because if it's not there, it doesn't exist, and you are more likely to lose it. You can't show your managers what you've been doing. If you're away, they can't see what you've been doing. You're not able to track your conversations, data. It just ends up being a mess. So my first thing I want to highlight is, however you build your target list, which I'll come to next, it is only there to complement the CRM. It is not there to replace. You must use your CRM. And if you want more information on utilizing tech and your CRM, there'll be a link pop up now for a video where I interview Holly Langley. She is the go-to person for this. Watch the video, but also reach out to her as well. So with your BD planning and prep, what you ultimately need to do is build a target list. A target list of clients who you would like to work with, so they're not clients yet, with key information that's going to help you perform the best outreach. I like to build these in a spreadsheet. I'm old school, and then I add all that information plus more into my CRM. I've always done it that way, but I'm old as fuck, and that's old school. You might have more technical ways. I know in a lot of the CRMs you can build hot lists, so you can do it that way as well, but ultimately there are some key bits of information you need regardless of where you store that information. So before you start hammering the phones or sending out spec emails, you first of all need to identify companies that you want to work with, and this needs to be topped up regularly. You don't just find 15 and say, job done, I never need to build my target list up again. You need to keep replenishing the stock, you need to keep adding, you need to keep looking for leads, so that is always updated. So that's going to be the first key bit of information you need. Second of all, you need contact names, not just one. I see so many people just look for one person and then that's done. Some of the businesses that you're reaching out to will have more than one decision maker, and you need to map that client out effectively. Your target market may be on LinkedIn, so search on LinkedIn for all the decision makers that you think you need to add to that list. There could be 4, 5, 2, who knows, but you need to investigate. If your target market are not on LinkedIn, it might be Facebook that you look for people. It could be other forms of social media. You can also use applications and internet sites like Apollo and Lusher to look for decision-maker names. You can ask candidates who have either worked there or currently work there. You can look on people's CVs for the references, because normally that's who managed them. Google, company websites. But ultimately, a decision maker is somebody that you believe will be involved in the recruitment, or that manages the type of candidate that you're going to put in that company. So the contact names are really, really important. Next, you need contact details. Now, head office numbers are important, but let's also try and find some direct numbers as well, so you can get in touch with people without having to go through a gatekeeper necessarily. Now, you're probably thinking, well, where do I get these numbers from? Don't forget to check people's LinkedIn profiles on the contact info, because you never know, you might get lucky and it might be in there. You also want to check things like the website, Google, but my go-to if I'm looking for contact details is things like Lusher, Apollo.io, Hunter, Rocket Reach. If you're not aware of these programs, pop them in Google, you'll learn all about them, but they are brilliant for finding people's, not only their mobile numbers, but their email addresses as well. So try and get as many contact details as you can. Then, the following columns, you could, it depends on your niche, want things like location of the company. You might want to have the industry of the company. I like to have a prompt to add that person on LinkedIn, and another prompt of have they accepted me, just so I know whether I've got another way of contacting them and whether or not I need to try and re-add them, say in 6 months. You might want to have things like a last contacted column or information section, so you know when you last contacted them and maybe what mode of communication. So was it the phone? Was it email? Was it a LinkedIn message? This is just snapshot info that when you are in a rush or when you've got limited time, means that you can go to it, do some great BD outreach without having to go into the CRM and go into the nitty gritty. The CRM is there to complement it, as I said. One thing I would highly recommend you do is you have a column around the priority level of that client, or you colour code in some way, because that means that if you are short on time, you can go to your high priorities, get them done, and then come back to the mediums and the lows when you get a chance. I use colour coding a lot because I find it easier, but you may find it easier to have a column. Now obviously you can have drop-down menus on spreadsheets that make it much easier for you to find this information, but the priority level I think is really, really important. Also, I like to have a notes column, and this is not for me to write full notes from conversations. This is little pointers that I have found out from doing my research. Are they hiring at the moment? Have they been invested in recently? Have I spoken to a candidate recently that works there? Or do I know somebody that works there? Any little tidbits that you think are going to help you out, put it in that column. And one thing I will say is when you put this list together, when you are adding people to it, again, don't treat it as a tick box exercise and start just adding any company that will do. Really think about who you are adding and why you are adding them. Why are they a company that I want to work with? What makes them great for my niche or my sector? What kind of roles do they have that would fit in with the candidates that I enjoy working with? Really think about it. Don't just start adding anybody. Really do your research. The preparation bit I like to think of as I'm almost like a detective. I'm seeking out opportunities, great companies, leads. It doesn't necessarily need to be somebody hiring. And that's actually a big tip I would say. Don't just add to your list companies that have live jobs. Have a mix. Have some that are hiring now, some that just look great, like great companies to work for. You could have worked with an amazing candidate and on their CV seen the last few companies they worked for and thought, actually, they also look like great companies and that candidate's worked there. That's the kind of candidate that I like to work with. They're the kind of companies I should also probably want to work with. I'm going to add them to my list. Okay, they might not be hiring, but I know I've got the candidate base for them and they're growing, or they look like they work with great products, they're an attractive company to work for. Get into that kind of mindset, because a lot of recruiters will just be doing tactical recruitment, which is chasing live ads, and you don't want to be just another everyday recruiter. Add that strategic approach to your business development. I know this has been a very quick run through of planning and prep that's needed for business development. Ultimately, you will find your own way, but these are some key bits of information that you do need to research before you do any outreach. If you are struggling with your outreach and your preparation, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can contact me by commenting on this YouTube video, LinkedIn, email. If you've got any questions and if you're struggling with your BD prep, I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to help and support you. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep your eyes peeled for the next lot of videos coming through. And just a reminder, hit that subscribe button, allow the notifications so you keep getting to watch my content. I will see you soon. Bye.